Seid nicht dumm rum! Erschießt ihn!
Unter Beschuss! Das war's!
Bewundere einen Mann, der nichts aufgibt. Heute ist ein Todestag, Ami.
Well done, Jimmy. I couldn't have expected half the results you achieved. So, take some much-needed R&R, but rest assured we'll be calling on you soon. With Germany's battle for Russia going poorly on the Eastern Front and our success on the Western Front, Germany is getting less sure and more dangerous by the day. Hitler is turning to projects that we hope never see the light of day. You'll be part of our continuing efforts, Patterson, so rest for now. We'll be in touch.
Well, let me start off by saying, in my opinion, this game compared to Medal of Honor or Call of Duty Finest Hour, no contest. No contest whatsoever. This game blows that game out of the water. It really does, in my personal opinion. And like I said, before I started really collecting games, when I was just like a regular gamer and I bought games, I could have sworn up and down that I beat all of the Call of Duty and Medal of Honor games. I wasn't even really, I don't even think I was aware of the fact that there was Call of Duty and Medal of Honor. I knew that I definitely played one of them. I'm not sure which one, and I thought I had beat it, and I actually thought that I thought that I beat it, but I didn't realize how many of those World War shooters or whatever the PS2 actually had. And as I start collecting and start watching more reviews and seeing gameplay, nothing's clicking. I'm like, well, I never saw that level. I never saw that level. I never even saw this game's cover art before. So it occurred to me that I never, or that I hadn't played as many World War shooters as I thought for the PS2 or for this generation. And let me tell you, well, first off, Finest Hour wasn't even made by Activision. It was made by, I think, Spark Unlimited. And me and Spark Unlimited have a rocky relationship. Like when it comes to first-person shooters or shooters in general, some of their shooters I just despise, and some of their shooters I actually like. But with this game in particular, I hate to sound like a fanboy or like I'm playing favoritisms or something, but this has got to be my top 20, which I'm not even really I probably couldn't even really tell you. I had to write it down. This would be in my top 20, probably my top 10. This is probably the best. This is one of the best shooters I've ever played. That would be top 20, one of the best, maybe top 10. As far as World War shooters, or shooters with this theme, it's probably the second best I ever played. I think the first best that I ever played will be Combat World War II Road to Berlin. That's probably the first. Like, when it comes to World War II shooters, this game is in the top 5, in the top 3, actually. And yeah, everything about this game I love. I love well, not everything. The game has some really had some really incredibly frustrating moments for me, but it also has some really incredibly satisfying moments. And as I'm playing it, I'm thinking back to what the people said, or from what I've read online, and people were like, "Well, when you shoot an enemy, he die, they fall down, but then and it looks like they're dead, but then they get back up." I didn't encounter that until I was like halfway through the game, or maybe a little less than halfway through the game, and I did notice that. One thing I noticed, because the combat in this game, which is probably my favorite part, the combat in this game is very, in my opinion, very slow, and whatever. And that's one of my favorite things about this game, just how slow the combat is. And if you pay attention to when you're shooting, so like, since the combat's real slow, I always know I'm hitting an enemy. If I hit him in the shoulder, I know I hit him in the shoulder. If I hit him in the arm, I hit him in the arm. And there were times when I hit an enemy in the shoulder, I shoot him in the shoulder, and he'd fall, then he'd get back up. If you're shooting him in the shoulders, or if you're paying attention to where you're shooting them, then it won't really be a surprise. Now sometimes, a lot of times I shoot somebody in the head, but then they get back up. But again, like, this isn't the kind of game you really want to rush through. So, like, you don't want to just rush through the levels. Well, I don't, because you die pretty quickly. So even if they get back up, like, the combat is so slow that, like, you're not gonna want to do a lot of rushing anyway. At least I didn't want to do that right there. So if somebody gets back up, you're probably going to see it. You're probably going to see them get back up, and then once you first realize, oh, that sometimes the enemy gets back up when I shoot them, that should let you know right there. Whenever I shoot somebody, let me just stare at them for an extra 3 minutes, or extra 3 seconds, and then move on, rather than just shoot. Oh, he fell, so he's dead. He fell, so he's dead. He fell, so he's dead. Don't do that, especially when you know that the enemy gets back up, or has a tendency of getting back up. On top of that, pay attention to where you're shooting them. You pay attention to where you're shooting them, you'll notice. Oh, okay, I shot him in the chest, so he's probably getting back up. I shot him in the leg or the arm, he's probably getting back up. So that wasn't really a problem for me. I mean, it can really be a problem when you're shooting guys on high ledges. But even still, like, whenever I'm shooting somebody that's on a high ledge and they have a bazooka or a sniper rifle, I want to make sure, that they're down. I'm not going to shoot him. Oh, he fell, so he's dead. No, I'm going to stare at him until his body disappears, which happens in this game. So I never understood that right there. Also, I kind of understand what people were saying about how the game, or how the levels are too long and there's no checkpoints or saves or nothing like that. That I sort of agree with, but at the same time, the game gives you health packs. You get a lot of health packs. Usually the combat, all the events that involve gameplay and combat, they usually unfold the exact same, every single time. So it's more like memorization, and that's just what I thought, because as I was playing this game, it was getting me really frustrated, but I still wanted to play. Very few games that I let's play, or that I attempt to let's play, that when they frustrate me, I still want to keep on playing. And that was one of these. This was one of these games. I was like, I should put in some G codes and just put on easy, and then just replay. But it's like, the more it frustrated me, the more I wanted to play it, because everything unfolds the exact same. You just got to memorize what's going to happen, and memorize where it's going to happen, and then how you're going to take care of it. This game reminded me a lot of Duke Nukem 0 Hour. Duke Nukem 0 Hour was one of my favorite. Well, it's one of my favorite shooters from the N64, and that game's the same way. You get there's no saves except for when you beat a level, and the levels are like usually like 45 minutes to an hour each. But the game gives you health packs. You get atomic health. You actually get health you can carry around with you, like little health packs you can carry around. On top of that, there's always some sort of toilet or some sort of water pump that you get bust open and get some water. So you have plenty of ways to to heal yourself. Just when it comes to shooting, you got to use a little bit of skill or a little bit of caution and just take your time. But yeah, this game was an amazing experience. Amazing. I'd say this is probably one of the best shooters I've ever played. Not the best. It's in the top 20 in that category. But it's a really good game. Really good game. Really frustrating as well, but I'm glad that I played. I'm glad that I took the time to beat it. And I still have 4 more to go. Or 3 more to go, so hopefully everything goes smoothly. And with this one out of the way, I think this is probably the longest one. It has 19 missions. I'm about to Let's Play Medal of Honor Rising Sun, which has 9 missions. Although the levels are pretty long, so I've heard or read somewhere. But it's also checkpoints, so whatever. As long as it's as good as this game that I just completed, I'm happy. And I know I've talked your ears off or whatever for long enough, but if you don't like it, you can leave. You've seen the credits, or you've seen me beat the game. You've seen the ending. So, but anyway, today is Wednesday, May 13th, 2020, 6:11 p.m. I may start on my Let's Play of Medal of Honor Rising Sun tomorrow. If not tomorrow, I'll start on it sometime later on tonight. Maybe 11 or 12. I'll probably start around like midnight or something and do like 1 level. And then later on, or sometime tomorrow, I'll continue it. But yeah, this is Quincy House on Overlip signing out, saying be safe, take care. I'll see you guys for my next Let's Play.